Hey guys, Lady Liberty Stacker. I'm back for an update on those 3 skillets that I picked up about a week and a half before Thanksgiving. I had sold, if you'd watched the video, I had sold 5 skillets that previous week. And I thought, I need more stuff to restore. Anyway, this is a quick peek on what they look like with 3 coats of seasoning on them. I'm going to go back and show you what they look like when I first picked them up. And then I'll be back to share my total review on these with my thoughts. So I'll be back. Be right back. Okay, I'm back again. These 3 skillets were purchased, like I said, Saturday at antique malls that aren't too far from where I am, which is good. The first one is if you can see there, it's a number 6. And it's got well-developed pour spouts. And we will go ahead and turn it over. And it is, you can barely see it, but it is a Wagner Ware Sydney O. And I believe there's a model number there, but we really can't see it. But it had really doesn't spin. There's not much wobble. And I held it up for the ring test. And I don't have a tripod right now, but it rings as clear as a bell. So I'm going to put the camera down, and you can hear it. You can kind of hear it. There are no cracks on it. So there is a Wagner Ware number 6. That size is not as common. So, and I do have one, but it is a little bit of a spinner. This one is not. You push the handle, it does not spin. And I paid $15 for in an antique mall. So that was pretty good. The guy cut me a deal. Then I went down the street to a companion mall owned by the same guy. And this one has some rust on it. But as you can see, I paid $9.60 and it has some rust. But if you look real close, it's just, I don't believe it caused any pitting. There are no cracks. It rings like a bell when you rap on it. And you turn it over. It's a number 7. Again, that's an uncommon size. It has an outside heat ring. I can't see any markings of any kind on the skillet. I don't know if there are any. There are any or not until I put it in a lye bath, and that's one of the reasons why I'm doing the video now. But it feels pretty smooth once all this stuff comes off. But an outside heat ring indicates an earlier skillet. I don't think this is an Erie. Doesn't it look like a Vollrath? To me, it looks like a very early Wagner because the ribbing stops, it flattens out going into the sidewall, and it has a perfect teardrop here. The pour spouts are very well defined here. And if you go over to this Wagner pan, and the same thing, this Marked Wagner pan, you can see it here. So I'm not sure on this one, but I want to get it into lye and get going on it so we can find out what the mystery is. And then finally, this one here is a number 8. It has well-defined pour spouts. You come down here, here's a teardrop handle, and here is it's a number 8. And it too is flat. Let me just go ahead and show you. Let's backtrack a little bit on this one with the heat ring. Boy, that rust looks bad, doesn't it? But I paid $9.60. It doesn't have any major problems. I think I can get rid of that. So we've got to get it into lye and then into vinegar. This one here also is flat. And that's one reason I wanted to. You push the handle, it doesn't spin. There's very little wobble. It sits pretty daggone flat. So we'll put that over there. This one turned out to be a small logo, Griswold, not quite as collectible as a large logo, but a number 8 is a larger size pan. It's very smooth, even with old seasoning on, very smooth. The cooking surface is fairly smooth as well. You just got to get this stuff off. And it is a 704Y. And it too has a little bit more definitive ribbing here, but it does kind of flatten out like the Wagners do. So I don't know if... Okay, guys, I am back. The first one that I picked up was a Wagner Ware Sydney O, model 1056Z. We had a hard time on that video making out the model number and even making out the stamp of the manufacturer because it was covered with grime and old seasoning. And then, of course, the underlying skillet was too. Now, this one didn't clean up as well as I thought it would. It looked better in the shop. I mean, it's okay. I did not take any kind of wire wheel to it or anything like that. My thoughts is I went ahead and listed this because I don't have a need for a 6, but a 6 is not as common of a size, so you can get maybe a little bit more money for them. But I didn't wire wheel this. The surface is not glass smooth because you have old utensil marks. You have a little bit of pitting going on here from the rust. It's still a good cooker. It'll still be a fine cooker. If anybody's interested in this one, let me know. I'll pull it from my online commerce store. But my thoughts are, if I don't get much traffic on it in the first 2 months, I'm going to go back and strip it again. Just all I have to do is throw it and lye. There's no rust this time. Throw it and lye, and then I am going to take a wire wheel and I'm going to smooth the bottom, just smooth this stuff down a little bit. I know they say that if it's a collector's skillet, you shouldn't do that, but in this instance, I need to like the way it looks, and this one's okay. I did a great job. There's nothing I could have done better on this one as far as removing any of the old rust and crud and old seasoning and that kind of thing. It's just what's there and how it was used by a previous owner. So the only way you're going to smooth that out is, number one, over time. You're going to re-season it and so forth, and it's going to fill in over time. Or I could strip it again and take a sander, which I don't have, or a wire wheel, which I do have, and just smooth out the bottom surface and go again. It's just, you do see that, if it's not done carefully, you do see the wire wheel marks on the skillet. I can do it in a way where you don't really see it, but I may just do that with this skillet. But I mean, it'll be fine. It doesn't move. There's no damage to it. There's no serious pitting to it. There's no cracks. It's great. And the second one that I got was a Griswold. And let's go back to this one for a minute. I paid $15 for this one. And I'd like to get at least double that for my time and effort put in. But I might just strip it again and sand the bottom. All right, the next one is a Griswold, small logo number 8. And this one cleaned up real nice. As you can see from the previous clip, it had a lot of grime and gunk on it. And this one looks really nice. These are extremely smooth. Not a whole lot of pitting or anything going on with this one. It was made probably around, in the mid-50s. The latest they produced these was 1957. And this is what the interior looks like. This one had a lot of carbon coming out to about 1/4 of an inch. And then it came up the sidewalls of about the same amount. It was stubborn, but going back and forth between vinegar and lye took care of it. It's all gone. Anything that still remains could not be removed, and I don't think anything would remove it. But you just see utensil marks and things like that. But I did not take a wire wheel to this because Griswold is definitely a collectible skillet. And this one cleaned up really nice. It was probably the average of the 3. It was the second best. This looked the best in the antique shop. That one looked the worst. This was in the middle, and it turned out to be in the middle. But this one, Griswold, small logo, number 8. I have a number 7 that is wonderful for scrambled eggs and omelets, and it has a very smooth surface, just like this one. All right, and finally, this one turned out to be the best. This is an Unmarked Wagner, produced from about 1924 to 1935, in that range. It has an outside heat ring. It looked the worst. It was covered in rust. It cleaned up extremely well. It's got the Wagner handle here. I'm going to go back and take a look at the Wagner handle. It's got the mark here, the flattened area that meets the sidewall. Again, in this one, I don't think Griswold made any unmarked skillets. I could be wrong, but I haven't come across any. But I know Wagner did, and a lot of the ones I found online look just like this one. This is a number 7. It's not too common, and it cleaned up beautifully on the interior. You have to look real close to see any there's a couple minor pitted areas that won't impact the cooking on this at all. This is a gorgeous skillet. Almost looks like it came from the foundry. Very smooth. Again, no wire wheel was taken to this. So yeah, and this one I paid $9.60 for. And I've got a ton of people already watching this one when I listed it. This one here I paid $25 for. And again, it's probably worth about 3 times what I paid, in a restored condition like this. If it had a large logo, they're a little bit more collectible. It would be worth probably 4 to 5 times what I paid for this one at $25. But this is a small logo, not worth quite as much, but they're every bit as good quality, as good of cookers as a large logo. The large logo, just people like them better. Gave the pens more character, and they were made earlier than these. So those are my thoughts on this. I'll share some pictures with you of before and after so you can feast your eyes on it. And any questions or concerns, please leave them in the comment section below. Give me a thumb up if you like videos like this. And I will bring you more content like this when I have it to bring you. Okay, guys, thanks for watching, and go make it a great day.